Welcome to the Film Channel Movie Silver Screen.
Sorcerer, directed by William Friedkin and released in 1977, emerged from a side project into a masterpiece of 1970s cinema, differing greatly from Friedkin's previous success, The Exorcist. The screenplay, penned by Wallen Green, is based on Georges Arnaud's novel Le Cellulaire de la Père, with Friedkin emphasizing the original material rather than Clouseau's earlier adaptation. The film captivated audiences, showcasing tension and thrills often absent in contemporary cinema. Set in diverse global locales, the film introduces four unheroic protagonists: Nilo, a Mexican hitman; Kasim, a bomb-planting terrorist in Jerusalem; Manzan, a fraud exposed in Paris; and Scanlon, a failed thief in New Jersey. Played by a famous American actor Roy Richard Scheider, known for his roles in celebrated films from the 1970s to the mid-1980s. Exiled from their homelands, four men undertake a perilous mission to transport unstable dynamite through the jungles of South America to earn their way home. Their collective escape from their pasts leads them to Porvenir, a fictional Central American village under the influence of the oil industry. When a nearby oilfield explosion necessitates unstable dynamite transport, the criminals, desperate for money, form an uneasy alliance to undertake the perilous journey across treacherous terrain. Despite Friedkin's successes with The French Connection and The Exorcist, Sorcerer faced critical disdain upon release, coinciding with the blockbuster success of Star Wars, leading to a financial disaster. Given creative freedom due to his earlier film's success, Friedkin's ambitious vision led to increased production costs, as he insisted on authentic jungle filming, resulting in substantial delays. Initially budgeted at $2.5 million, production costs ballooned to $22 million due to location shooting challenges. The film grossed only $9 million, its failure attributed to audience misconceptions about its title and language, resulting in walkouts. Critics initially received the film poorly, and its release alongside Star Wars further hindered its box office performance, recouping less than half its budget. They dismissed Sorcerer as a failure, mistakenly viewing it as a remake of The Wages of Fear. Despite these challenges, Friedkin's ambition fundamentally shaped Sorcerer into a compelling narrative, characterized by its documentary-style realism, austere visuals, and unique storytelling. The supplemental material reflects his journey to acceptance regarding its initial reception, affirming Sorcerer as one of his finest works. The film's structure, although unconventional, is confident. It resonates more today than it did with its original audience. Friedkin's mastery in creating suspense culminates in tense scenes, especially while crossing a dilapidated suspension bridge, while also delving into complex character interactions. Despite the hope for redemption often associated with such narratives, Sorcerer offers no such reprieve. The protagonists face insanity and death, ultimately serving as a poignant meditation on darkness and consequence rather than a classic redemptive arc. Friedkin aimed for a film free from sentimentality, focusing on flawed characters rather than clear heroes or villains, requiring minimal dialogue to convey emotion effectively. Accompanied by a memorable score from Tangerine Dream and stunning cinematography, Sorcerer emerges as a cinematic masterpiece, regardless of its initial reception. Ultimately, Sorcerer has been reassessed over time, now regarded as a masterpiece that contributed to the end of the auteur era in 1970s American cinema. The film's bleakness serves as a reminder of the inescapable repercussions of human decisions. Recent films like Dunkirk suggest a revival of unique cinema, signaling that studios might once again embrace intellectually engaging narratives. The hope remains for a balance between accessible entertainment and profound cinematic experiences.
30 minutes.
Death on the Nile, a 1978 film directed by John Guillermin, is an all-star adaptation of Agatha Christie's novel, following the success of the 1974 film Murder on the Orient Express. For years post the acclaim of Murder on the Orient Express, producer John Bradbourne shifted focus to Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile, opting for John Guillermin as director instead of Sidney Lumet. Bradbourne cast Peter Ustinov as Hercule Poirot, marking his debut in the role among 6 portrayals. The story begins with Jacqueline de Belfort, Mia Farrow, introducing her fiancé Simon Doyle, Simon MacCorkindale, to her wealthy friend Lynette Ridgway, Lois Chiles, leading to a swift marriage that leaves Jacqueline heartbroken and intrusive. On the SS Carnac cruising the Nile, everyone seems to want heiress Lynette Ridgway Doyle dead, and Hercule Poirot is present when tragedy strikes. With the letter J written in her blood, Lynette is discovered shot dead, prompting illustrious detective Hercule Poirot, Peter Ustinov, to investigate among a feisty group of suspects. This contrasts with Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None, a favorite summer read known for its intense atmosphere and isolated setting. The film, directed by John Gillerman and shot by Jack Cardiff, thrives in its luxurious visual splendor, from the opulent costumes to the breathtaking landscapes. Poirot quickly deduces that multiple passengers bear grudges or desires related to Lynette, such as Jacqueline de Belfort, Lynette's former friend, Andrew Pennington, her embezzling attorney, Mrs. Van Schuyler, a kleptomaniac, and others, creating a rich tapestry of suspects. Cardiff's cinematography is striking, capturing the vibrant colors and textures of Egypt beautifully. The natural soundscape involving the ship's lively ambience enhances the setting, while the historic temples serve as atmospheric backdrops, showcasing the allure of tourism in the era. The film stands out in its campiness, particularly compared to other adaptations of the time. The film flourished with a talented cast, where Bette Davis's portrayal of Mrs. Van Schuyler introduced a humorous malice absent from the literary depiction, while Maggie Smith's Miss Bowers offers witty commentary. Angela Lansbury is memorable as the eccentric author Salome Otterburn, supported by Olivia Hussey as her concerned daughter. Lois Chiles, portraying Lynette, succeeded in conveying depth instead of a one-dimensional character, exhibiting layers of charm and warmth, alongside Simon McCorkindale's straightforward Simon Doyle. Mia Farrow's portrayal of Jacqueline de Belfort stands out with her mix of vulnerability and intensity, embodying a tragic figure driven by obsession. Ustinov's Poirot stands out as the quintessence of intelligence wrapped in humor. Their performances highlighted the essence of their characters, marked by layered interactions and strong chemistry. David Niven's Colonel Race brought charm and humor, benefiting from the real-life friendship he shared with Ustinov, which added authenticity to their scenes. Production quality paralleled that of its predecessor, featuring costumes by Anthony Powell that captured the early 1930s. Despite some scenes filmed in England, on-location shooting in Egypt contributed to the visual credibility of the Nile setting, ensuring a vivid representation of the luxurious cruise ambience. The film transcends its source material, benefiting from Anthony Schaefer's streamlined script, which enhances plot clarity. Death on the Nile is celebrated for its sumptuous visuals and performances, creating a leisurely yet engaging experience. Ultimately, while the film does not escape the colonial trope, it succeeds as a splendid merging of visual art with Christie's storytelling. The film deftly balances humor, character complexity, and elegance, resulting in a memorable adaptation that resonates with the audience alongside a stellar cast, confident direction, and fine production design. El Topo is a provocative and grotesque film blending elements of Italian westerns with philosophical symbolism, exploring deep myths and cultural narratives through violence. Directed, written, and starring Alejandro Jodorowsky, it gained an underground cult following after its release in New York, characterized by its graphic content and a controversial reception. Jodorowsky's film, a Mexican-American co-production, showcases marginalized individuals, raising questions about exploitation versus artistic contribution. In El Topo, Jodorowsky portrays a mystical gunfighter, traversing the Mexican desert alongside his son on a quest to defeat 4 gunmasters. El Topo, meaning the mole, is a surreal western steeped in religious themes. This premise suggests a traditional western, yet Jodorowsky deviates from the norm, using the desert to delve into human morality. The storyline begins with a metaphor about the mole's futile digging, reflecting themes of existential searching. At its core, the narrative follows a gunfighter's quest for enlightenment in a desert wilderness. He embarks on this journey with his son but ultimately abandons him. El Topo confronts and kills marauders responsible for a village massacre while taking one captive woman, Mara, prompting a series of events where he is urged to kill 4 master gunfighters for her love. The film is unique and artistic, reminiscent of works by Lynch, Buñuel, or Fellini. Jodorowsky incorporates diverse mythological references, from Christianity to Zen Buddhism, without striving for a cohesive interpretation.
Within this Western backdrop, El Topo encounters graphic violence and grotesque characters, including grotesque caricatures led by false prophets. His journey involves battles against the four masters of the desert and ultimately aids a colony of deformed outcasts. Critics expressed concern over Jodorowsky's dual use of symbolic imagery and extreme violence, debating whether the film served to distill meaning or exploit gore. Though heavy with themes of death, brutality, and darker aspects of human nature, El Topo also features remarkable cinematography, capturing the beauty of Mexican landscapes. The film is enriched with metaphors, using exaggerated characters to represent philosophical and religious ideas, such as the diverse philosophies embodied by the desert masters. The complexity of El Topo leads audiences to grapple with two perceptions: accepting it as an expansive fantasy or rejecting it as cynical exploitation. Ultimately, Jodorowsky's ambitious vision seems to support the former viewpoint, suggesting a deeper exploration of violence as a representation of human dynamics rather than mere sensationalism. Alejandro Jodorowsky's cult classic El Topo remains an extraordinary and perplexing film, offering a unique spin on the Western genre while simultaneously shocking and fascinating audiences. Jodorowsky's films often thrive under the influence, presenting captivating and surreal narratives. The pleasure lies in surrendering to the film's flow, where individual perspectives enhance appreciation. El Topo, along with Jodorowsky's other unconventional works, cements its status as an iconic part of the midnight movie canon, making any viewing an unforgettable journey. Its bold artistry and exploration of profound themes make it a significant film, deserving of being viewed on the big screen, even if it requires confronting darkness and violence. It is a daring achievement that showcases the audacity required to create such a work of art.
Nos están esperando.
La señal